And we're back.
Nice.
Yeah,
Right.
great. So that was
Very
Oh
very.
god,
scheduled.
I love that. That was amazing.
You liked it? Sweet, dude.
Yeah,
That synthesizer. It's got so much sass to it. I just can't even.
all the 8-bit, all the 8-bit
It's
greatness.
very 8-bit vibes, and I'm super into
Yeah.
it. All right,
Eight-bit
so
greatness.
as we transition into this new episode titled "What Lies Beneath," I have a short little thing to read that will hopefully set the mood a little bit. 3 months have passed since the events that led to Akrim's death. The buildup of military power in the city did not dissipate over time, and recent events have put an enormous strain on Twin Harbor. A dangerous new drug has ravaged the population, leading to an enforced quarantine of some of the poorer districts in the city. The official name for the drug is Ethereum, but those who have encountered it on the streets know it as Sapphire Dream, so called because of the blissful catatonic state it induces. A representative from the Guild Council, a human named Oren Vitrell, has taken a bold public stance against the drug epidemic, stating that he'll eradicate the problem within the year. He has been gaining support from many in the city. Adding to the tension, the city guard's personnel has been expanded and equipped with heavier arms. The guard has taken a much more active role in the city, for better or for worse, but mysteriously Garth, the captain of the guard, has been not making any public appearances recently, even though the city has been under so much strain. Yet, despite the conflicts, Twin Harbor's ports have never been so busy and never so profitable. So that's kind of where we're at. And before I really start the adventure, I just want to say like a little thing about myself as a DM. What I think is pretty cool about the way that we're doing the stream is that as we switch DMs, we have different DMing styles, and different house rules may come into effect. You know, kind of just different like philosophies on how this game should be played. So just a little disclaimer about the way I do it and the way that I play. I am just notoriously like by the book. You know, I have my improv moments. I love improving as a DM, but I also love drawing on the resources that are actually in like the first 3 books, you know. So I'm going to have these moments where I'm like referencing my notes, coming down referencing the books a lot. I like to roll dice on the tables and everything. So yeah, that's what I'll say there. And
All right.
so the way that
I'm mostly by the book too, so like I'm okay with like character options, but not rule. I'm less okay with rule options. There's some things that I might monkey with the balance on, but
for sure,
I'm much more. I'm with you. I'm much more likely to stick to the rules.
All right, cool. So, tell me really quick for each one of your characters, where are they at the present moment? On this given, like, random day, where would they be?
I would be speaking with a, over the last few months, cultivated relationship with the guards. Not to the point where we're friends, but certainly where we could recognize each other. I'll be going and speaking with a town guard and seeing if there's any update on drug news, because this seems to be the hot new thing. And are there any tasks for mercenaries or handymen to help out the guards with anything?
You following Okram's footsteps and trying to make contacts? Is that what's going on?
He taught me.
I mean, that he
touched.
did. Yeah, that
Okay.
he did. He taught you the importance of contacts.
All right, so Onn is talking to one of the local guards. Where is Alton?
He would be on a random day. He would probably be like on the beach, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're like, whenever he's in town, he's gonna spend a lot of time on the beach because we're in a like equator region.
Yeah.
So he like that's kind of like he's like in a tropical like he grew up in the tropics. So whenever he's in town, he's relaxing. He's kind of spends a lot of time on the beach.
Okay. On the beach, like within the confines of the city. Okay.
Yeah, like around, but yeah, basically.
For sure. And and Eridu, I know you said that no one's heard from him, but I mean, where is it? Where is he though?
Sure. Eridu at this very moment is lying on a small one-person boat. The long, these are the kinds you push around the channels like you'd see in what's
like
that
Venice?
Yeah, Venice. The long poles they use to pretty much oar them. He's laying in one of those with that long pole just kind of laying across the boat. And at the moment he is has his pants like hiked up to the knee, and he is making an incision on the inside of his thigh, in which he is rubbing an ointment into. And then he is lying back and letting the world around him shape and change as it will. And in that moment, there are several other cuts on the inside of his thigh that have healed and scarred over time.
Is Eridu okay?
I suppose we'll find out.
I'm pretty sure he knows what that means. Yeah.
Okay, just saying. Just putting that out there. That is so shocking.
Did you not expect that?
No.
Oh,
no,
that's
like it
awesome.
actually floored me. Like I had to go and do the private message. Like, wait, are you sure?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
Oh my dear God, the implications are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I just didn't expect to do this so early, but I
No,
get.
we don't have to delve into what it means.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna give you the mechanics because that's the thing. Is like once you do that, you know, it's like I have some simple mechanics set up for that. So you would, and I'm gonna give this knowledge to you now because you would know if you've been doing it.
Fair enough.
So and that's like the way that
private?
Maybe.
just private message it.
Okay. Well,
Also Eridu is spending a lot of time with his tarot cards. A lot of time.
oh, for sure.
He keeps drawing the death card upside down.
Oh God, that doesn't sound good. I mean, I don't know anything about tarot cards, but that does not sound good.
It's very fitting for where he's at right now.
For sure. Well, that got dark really quickly. But anyways,
And only we really know why.
yeah.
All right. Let's explore this together, audience.
Let's go through this together. So, at all of your locations that you just described, at generally the same time frame, 3 different couriers arrive. They're all dressed very similarly. They're all youngish, maybe like teenage kind of age human boys wearing a very drab but somewhat official looking cloak. And they all come up to you and they have this message. I'm going to be reading from my book a lot in this one. The captain of the guard has a job for you of the utmost importance to the security of Twin Harbor. Gulp. They're kind of nervous. He promises a handsome payment to you. Please, for the safety of Twin Harbor, go to the very end of Pier 3 at midnight tonight.
Because are they coming to each of us individually and doing this, or okay?
Yeah, they just kind of knew where you were and tracked you down.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna basically, because I'm kind of like So, as is custom for me and Domni, is she's lying down on the beach with me, and I'm using her as a pillow.
Aww.
Um, and so I'm just gonna basically like look at him and just kind of go back and just kind of like basically just close my eyes again and just kind of like, okay, good to know. No, like they have no idea what
Okay.
I'm gonna do.
Well, that
Clearly,
one's
I'm going.
okay.
But
Well,
they don't know.
well, that one stands around quite awkwardly and then asks for confirmation a couple of times and then just walks away,
Yeah.
somewhat disappointed.
I'll get down on my haunches and look this child in the eye very seriously. Thank you for the message. Where's Pier 3?
It's on the westernmost central island at the north. Yes, Pier 3.
Thank you. And I'll keep eye contact, grab his arm, and place in it 5 gold pieces. And I'll realize a moment too late that those aren't copper pieces, and then just be like, never mind. On you go, lad. Yep.
Thank you, sir. And then
Meant to do that.
he books it out there as quick as he possibly can, clutching the gold in his hand. So you're gonna subtract that from your inventory, right?
I am subtracting that from my inventory.
Classic on. I
I-
love it.
I need to know a few things. What
Okay.
emotional state would make sense, and how long is the duration?
Okay. I will. Yeah, this is I'm just going to give you all of it in the interest of full disclosure. So every time that you take a dose, you have to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's right.
The DC is 17.
Okay.
And if you fail it, then you are incapacitated for 4d4 hours.
Perfect.
And then, so incapacitated is like slightly different from unconscious. It just says you can't take actions or reactions. So you can't move around, can't do anything, but you're still like conscious. And
Right.
you're still, yeah. So then you're incapacitated, so you can't do anything. But for the duration of the drug, while you're incapacitated, you have true sight. And as you'll see, it's not like just true sight.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
4d4 hours.
All right. 4, 4, 4, and 3.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, just all day. All day. So you
Yeah.
can see how debilitating
We'll
this
say
is.
15 hours.
he took this like just at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
And
sure.
by the time this meeting rolls around, he'll be just able to drag himself around.
Mhm.
As the kid kind of like strolls up, his boat bumps against the bank, and the kid is giving him the message.
Mhm.
And Eridu just looks at him, and what does he see?
Oh, what does he see?
Yeah.
Oh, what does he see? Because he's like totally messed up. So you see, it's like everything has got this kind of like haze to it, where it's like you have a perception of the material plane in front of you, but what's happening is that it's like hazing, kind of like I don't know, it's almost like a watercolor effect, where like through the reality and through the material plane, you get this like blob of what looks very much like the Feywild. This blob of vision of the Feywild just comes out and it spreads over, and you would see like the beauty of the Feywild, and then it comes like collapses into itself, and then it's reality again. So you see this boy, but then like, you know, it's like his face will just start to blob and turns into, you know, some kind of Feywild creature that is like maybe the analog of what a teenage human boy would be.
Okay.
Not too familiar
So-
with the Fae.
Eridu will look at him and. Is you?
The
And then he'll close his eyes.
the boy in front of you, he delivers his message dutifully, but then as he stands there for longer waiting for a response, he just starts to look more and more sad for you.
Eridu begins to snore.
Yeah. Well,
Starts to nod.
dang, dude. So, okay. Y'all got the message then.
One of his hands flops over the side of the boat and dips into the water, and he like begins to swirl his fingers through the river.
Mm-hmm.
And as he does so, little like almost like ropes of water twirl from his fingertips
Mm-hmm.
down a few inches further than where his fingers extend.
Mm-hmm.
When he pulls his hand from the water, those strands kind of cling to his fingers a little bit longer before dropping into the rest of the river.
Wow. Eridu is gonna have a rough time in this.
He's gonna have a
adventure.
really rough time.
He's gonna have a really rough time. I'm just putting it right out there. You went 0 to 60 with Eridu right now.
Be 3 months, man.
Oh well,
3 months.
yeah, but okay. So, anyways, let's say that happens like, in the late afternoon or something. So you guys like have some time to go gear up if you feel like you need to go replenish on anything or, hit the
I
market.
don't.
Go do this. No. I mean, no, you're incapacitated for sure. But the other guys, I mean, if you want to go hit the market really quick and get anything.
Hold on, let me check one little thing.
Let me see. Do I have any?
Just an FYI, I'm gonna go ahead and like not have any money at all. I'm just gonna.
Oh,
whatever
right,
money's
that would
in
make
my
sense.
inventory,
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna get rid of.
basically.
I mean, yeah, you have the vow of poverty, right? So you're-
No. It's
Oh
not.
wait. Oh no.
That's not
a
why.
mon- That's not a monk thing. Okay. You
No,
just,
it's because
No.
I'm spending all my money on this shit, man.
well, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why he's fully on addicted. That's why. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am going to. I'm gonna go grab some healer's kits,
Okay.
just like a set of whatever.
All right. Yeah, whatever the market price is on healer's kits, I'd say you get that going on.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta look that up. Yeah, well, you guys, everybody else. That's the only thing I have. That's the only thing I've decided to do today is just like basically I'm solid on everything else.
For sure.
So I'm just gonna grab some healer's kits.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you find them at 5 gold pieces each.
5 gold pieces each.
Yeah, you could buy up to like 3 or 4 of them. That's what they have in
Gotcha.
stock.
Okay.
Is On gonna buy anything?
I'm not going to buy anything.
Okay.
I'm simply going to wander the streets, looking around at the poorer parts of Twin Harbors, and just sort of see some of the side effects of this drug starting to take hold.
Mm-hmm.
Looking to see if, beyond the reports of the town guards and what I hear, am I seeing like the place looking a bit shiftier? Am I seeing increased crime, that sort of thing? Or is it all blown way out of proportion and everyone's just completely happy?
Well, no, there's definitely a very measured and very visible effect that the drug has had on Twin Harbor. I forgot to mention when you were talking to the guard earlier and you were asking for like any stories, that was like right when the courier went up to you. When you're talking to the guard, he told you this crazy story about like something that they've been trying to keep a little hushed something that's been happening in the quarantined areas. But you guys have developed kind of a rapport, so he's cool with telling you. Some of the crazy things that have happened is that like these people get so hooked on this drug that when they go through withdrawals and when they can't have anymore, they like go crazy and just start attacking anything that comes near them. So some of the guards like have gotten some insane injuries from people like biting them, like biting their ear off or something like that, because one of these insane people went crazy on them. So that's a horrific story. But as you're walking around, you're not attacked. You're not attacked, but there's there's just a really common sight. You'll see someone like lying halfway out of an alley. You just like see their legs, and if you look at their body, they've got these bandages just completely covering their arms, and you see like blood soaking through the bandages. And there's also what happens is that there's like this blue crystally like crusty pus that forms on top of the wound, so you see like some of that leaking through the bandages as well. And if you get close enough to look at their eyes, you don't see their pupils at all, but it's all just clouded over with this bluish greenish kind of, like I said, kind of watercolory looking effect. Their eyes are just completely like clouded.
Right. Yeah, I'll just observe for the time being, and I'll wander sort of in a meandering way towards the pier, and I'll get there early. I'll aim to get to the pier for about 10 o'clock, a couple of hours before the meeting time.
Okay.
And just stand on the edge of the pier looking out into the harbour, so people can easily sneak up behind me.
It might happen. I'm just kidding. As you look out into the harbor, you notice, and you just notice how busy it is. There are all manner of ships making their way slowly from upriver and then out to the sea, and some are just unloading at the docks, and some are being loaded up at the docks. And there's the docks are like, it is obviously at night and it is dark, but the docks are just completely covered, and this has been kind of like a new development, completely covered in gas lamps. Not gas lamps, oil lamps. I'm sorry, meant to say oil. Just all over the place. It really gives the docks these kind of like this dirty, just like acrid kind of stench throughout the whole thing. But ever since they put all these lamps in, they've been able to keep running stuff, and the docks have just been going crazy for a couple months now. So
I'm formulating something. I'm thinking.
So it's getting closer to evening time. Alton, is he going to be like early or on time, or is he going to go at all, or?
He is going to, or I'm going to, show up at 9:20. just a little late, like kind of just annoyingly late, not like fashionably, like just annoyingly late.
Well, it was supposed to be midnight.
Oh, midnight. So then 12:20. Sorry, whatever. 20 minutes. For some reason, I thought you said 9:20. So, so just barely annoyingly late to the point where I'm probably gonna walk in the middle of their briefing.
Okay. And then Eridu, the drug eventually wears off, and you kind of come to your senses about at what time.
Yeah, he probably starts feeling more aware come 11, and then like as he recall, like just kind of the nagging feeling that he should be somewhere starts to set in. and he, without realizing it, has somehow stumbled to his apartment. And then the conversation comes into clarity, and he realizes that he had to be at Pier 3 by 12. He's got maybe like half an hour to get there, so he starts to rush as fast as he can go through town, and will probably still show up about 15-20 minutes late, maybe about the same time that
Okay.
Alton does. Maybe even later. Depends how long it takes him to run through town.
Well, I think you're a fast elf, so it's not actually too bad.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
40 feet per.
Yeah, 40 feet per round. So yeah, you're solid.
for sure. You're solid. So I'm gonna say that actually you guys, I think Onn maybe gets a little lost in his reverie, gets lost in his thoughts, and he doesn't really go to the end of the pier at the appointed time because he's so lost in his reverie. And then you two guys just converge on him. He's standing very conveniently right under one of the oil lamps, so you can see him very clearly. So you guys converge, and all of a sudden, you realize that maybe you all just got hired for the same job.
Oh, hello. Eridu.
Hello. Onn.
It has been quite some time since I've seen you, friend.
No, you just checked up on me a couple days ago.
Perhaps I am mistaken. Odd.
I'm pretty sure that you are. It was maybe 2 days ago, or at least.
No matter. I'm pleased to see you're looking well. Alton, you're looking. You're looking like Alton.
Alton, where have we met?
And then, yeah, I'm going to speak to you obviously telepathically.
Oh, that's
Basically,
gonna trip you
unless I
out.
say it, like, yeah, I'm going to speak to you telepathically because this is a personal conversation. Yeah, yeah. We worked together. We met at funeral. I feel like we have this conversation every time.
Oh. Yes. No. I'm sorry. It's late. I am very tired. My brain is not where it once usually should be.
Insight check.
Probably won't
I'm
be
sorry,
high.
but that was
Probably won't
that
be
was-
high
Pretty
DC.
bad lie. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a DC's like 5, dude.
Hold on one second. My insight's 5, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, so you can just tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow, nice, natural 22.
All right, so you can
Yeah.
especially tell that he's not okay.
Yeah, I'm fully well aware of how
Yeah.
messed up he is, apparently.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm going to, while Eridu and Alton are having their interaction, I'm going to slowly move my green skin close to Eridu, close to the side of his face, and then move it away. And what I'm looking for is for his skin to change color to match mine. Because I'm assuming that Eridu that I'm speaking to now is not the Eridu I know, but perhaps some sort of changeling, impersonating Eridu and lying about his whereabouts. And I'm confusing what changelings do and confusing them with chameleons. And so I'm putting my skin next to his to be changes green. And he doesn't, so I'm satisfied
wow.
this is the real Eridu for now.
That was kind
Good
of a
question
long
for
connection,
On.
but I liked it.
How much would he notice or care that there is most definitely a one-sided conversation going on
I think he's
whenever he's engaging individually?
I think he'd notice but not know how to cope with it.
Okay.
So he'd try to treat it like it's normal because he's
Okay.
not too sure.
When everybody, so how it operates is, at least culturally, whenever you're having a singular conversation, it's always telepathically. Whenever you're having a group conversation, you talk. But the culture is built around the idea of more personal conversations and less group conversations. So it kind of becomes like this code switching situation. That's why I was wondering.
Oh, I thought you meant with my interactions with a spaced out Eridu, sort of like
No.
I did.
Yeah.
But I suppose that the same rules would apply. On would try to be consistent throughout. That would be his main thing, to try and be a consistent person. So yeah, he'd treat it like a conversation with a speaking person. He is confused and constantly trying to work out what's going on with a normal conversation. So it's par for the course when dealing with a telepath.
Right.
He finds it just as difficult.
So,
yeah.
what? Where are the people we were supposed to meet? Are we in the wrong place?
Oh, you were not the one that hired the boy?
No.
Automatic assumption.
I was hoping that you were. I may have overpaid him slightly.
Oh, I don't. This is fine because maybe I probably overpaid too.
Well, then we have a rather well-paid messenger boy, or several well-paid messenger boys.
Yes,
If
yes.
you didn't send the messenger, then perhaps several were sent out. Are we awaiting anyone else? Do we know?
So at this point, you hear this stomping coming from the very end of the pier because you guys are like, actually, you know what? I forgot that I had set up a map up here, so I can't show you guys unless you're like checking it out on the stream or whatever. But
We'll check it out on the stream or whatever.
yeah, so I uploaded the map. I'm not sure if it's capturing my cursor, but you got the 3 central islands, and there's the island to the left, and Pier 3 is the one that's the very rightmost pier on that island.
You mean the third one?
Yeah, from left to right. From left to right.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if you're thinking left to right, but not everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cultural
that's just the way.
sensitivity
That's the way I'm doing it. So it's,
So the easternmost central island pier.
yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you guys are more at the beginning
Cardinal
of the pier, and this guy was waiting at the very end of the pier as he's going to explain to you very thoroughly right now. So yeah, he comes stomping up, and once he gets into the light, you can see that he's also a younger-ish looking boy in the same kind of cloak, but he looks older. He's at the point where his voice is almost done cracking, but it's not quite done cracking. And he says, "Finally!"
Is he actually a young boy or a halfling?
Oh no, he's got the build, he's got the stature of a human.
Okay, I just want to make sure because we've had that.
Probably taller than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
probably.
definitely taller than you.
Oh, definitely taller than me. I'm a tiny
Yeah.
motherfucker.
For sure. So it says
I'm 2'8". I'm
so-
a tiny motherfucker.
So he says, "Finally! I've been waiting forever. You have any idea how cold it is out here?" So you're the
we
ones.
are sharing the same atmosphere. I think we're all aware of the temperature.
I can tell you that the night feels quite content with itself.
Okay, so you're the ones for the job. Here's what's going on. You have to wait at the end of the pier. There's going to be a boat that comes down the river, and it's got to be escorted through the sewer system that's underneath this island.
What a peculiar task.
It's best if you don't ask questions because I don't know the answers and I won't be able to tell you anything. I only know what I know. I only know what I've been told. But I also know this, and that at this point he goes digging into his coin purse, and he's got smaller sacks of coins that he starts throwing flippantly to each of you. Upfront payment is 50 gold each. Once you complete the job, another guy's got 150 each for you.
Ooh.
Well, do you know how to speak, apparently? I'm gonna jingle the bag and look inside. Let's take out a coin and smell it.
Mm-hmm. Smells like gold.
And then I'm gonna look at it pretty intently. I'm
Ooh.
gonna put it back.
Oh. Does it look very special to you?
These coins seem happy to be in my hand.
That they are. That they are.
He is not actually influenced by anything right now.
Oh,
He
okay.
is pretty much on the downward swing of any drug influence.
Mm-hmm. So he's gonna get to crashing soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But until then, he's still in the state of being in the, like, trying to understand the emotions of things.
Mm-hmm.
One of the big things about the Feywild is everything has an emotion in the Feywild.
Mm-hmm.
Everything everything is an expression of emotion. And so where we in the mortal realm we would feel the wind, in the Feywild the wind is like agony or something like that. Like it is an expression of emotion of some sort. So here he's in a state, Eridu's in a state where he feels like all things have emotions and he's trying to understand them, because that space between Feywild and mortal plane is still hazy for him.
Mm-hmm.
On would like to utilize what skills he learned with his time with Agna, and look around, become suddenly aware of his surroundings, and see if they're being watched by some other onlooker, perhaps on a building rooftop or in an alleyway.
Mm-hmm. That's a perception check, for sure. Mm-hmm.
That is, in total, if I add things to it, a 6.
All seems well to Onn Thenois. All seems perfectly well. But, yeah. So the youngish boy in front of you with the cracking voice, as soon as he's distributed the money, he says, "All right, you know what you got to do. Wait for that boat. Make sure it gets through. Don't touch anything. Just make sure it's safe. It'll all be good. I'm out of here." And
We shall complete this task for you, little man.
And he's off.
As soon as he's out of earshot, Alton, Eridu, while I look favourably upon amassing wealth so that I might buy food and lodging, it strikes me as odd that this would be earning coin without knowing who the employer is or what the details of the task are. I'm uncomfortable.
I can feel your discomfort. However, I can also feel the coins in this pouch, and one of them weighs more than the other.
What? That's literally what I say out loud. That's not a I say. That's not a Josh. That's a Alton. What?
There's a job that needs to be done, and discomfort or no, we should do it.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys need help, then yeah. That's fine.
The existence or requirement of a duty shouldn't dictate whether or not it's completed. There are duties that one would find most unfavorable, especially that in times of war or conflict. There are duties for all sides of the conflict. It is not our purpose to complete all the duties, otherwise, our duties would involve fighting for all sides in a war.
You are
What?
correct. However, we have taken coin for this duty, and there is more coin to come in hand after it's over.
True.
Therefore, it becomes our duty, on. If you didn't want it, you should have walked away before he gave you coin.
Perhaps that is what I should have done. I'll bear that in mind for the future, but since I have taken the coin, civility and etiquette dictates that I should complete the task at hand.
Mm-hmm.
I will wait for the boat. Will you wait with me?
I have already been waiting.
I love this new direction for Eridu. I mean, it's really sad and depressing, but I love it. I love it.
I'm a little torn. I really am. I'm not a fan.
Let's
but
just feel it out. Just,
where he is right now.
just feel it out. So, you guys, maybe you walk a little closer to the end of the pier so you can get a better idea of what's going on. And I could make you all roll perception checks or whatever, but someone's going to see it, and it's probably going to be Alton. He'll see off in the distance, coming from upriver, you see a soft orange light very close to the water.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off just as like this really hazy little blip, and then as it gets closer you can see that it's got this choppy reflection in the water, but it's a pretty calm situation out on the water right now. As it gets closer, you see that it's a very dark boat, just like completely black, and except for this one hazy light coming from the front of it, it's more or less like completely invisible in the bay. But it gets closer, it gets to be under the oil lamps on the pier. Excuse me. And you see that it's a wide, shallow kind of boat with a tight black leather tarp all over the top. So you really can't see the contents at all. And there's no one steering the boat.
Mm-hmm.
It is silently moving as if it's being pulled forward by an invisible rope of some kind. So
Okay.
it's silently just coming on downriver toward you guys on the pier.
If this is the boat that we're supposed to get aboard, I don't believe it's stopping. We should just leap on.
Okay.
So I will wait until the middle of the boat is upon us, and then step aboard. Is there a deck at all part of this boat, like around the black tarp sunken in bit, or is it basically like a big canoe with black tarp over it?
Yeah, it's basically like a big thing with the black tarp over it. But if you try stepping on, you'll find that below the tarp there is some kind of like harder surface. So you can you can step on, and then also as you do that, you would expect the boat to have a lot more shake to it, as your weight is being distributed. But you find that it corrects itself very well and is accommodating to your weight and keeping stable a lot easier than it should.
I'll climb aboard.
And I will follow.
Obviously, Domni and I kind of jump on board as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, I have a quick question for you because this matters. Domni is going to have a 18 passive perception on smell.
Uh-huh.
Because it's 3 and she has advantage on smell and hearing. Would she just passively smell anything, or would anything passively pique her interest?
Like right now?
Yeah, we're on the boat.
Yeah.
Would she like just I'm throwing it out there because the nature of the mission is very much so secretive, and so like
Okay.
I'm not guiding her to do anything, but would
Uh-huh.
she basically become smell something that would cause her to be curious?
I don't think so, and it's really hard for me to put myself in the mindset of a wolf or whatever, and it's not like
Well, we're talking 18 passive perception.
Yeah, I know, but it's like what would pique her interest? It doesn't seem like she doesn't seem very interested in like getting into the tarp.
Okay.
At
Yeah.
the moment, it doesn't
So
seem
if I
like
can-
there's
It
any
doesn't really
food down
concern
there
her.
or
There's
anything.
nothing that she feels would be something to keep her eye on.
And if I'm understanding
really.
this right, there's no visible crew at all. The boat's
No
moving.
visible crew. It's just the flat, wide boat. It's actually a little crowded with you guys on there, like it's that small. But it is staying very steady, and yeah, you guys are the only people on this boat.
Yeah, with Eridu's kind of mind beginning to clear a little more, he'll turn to Onn and say, I believe your concerns may be validated. Perhaps we should have considered this job a little bit further before we took the money.
I'm afraid, Eridu, that it is too late. We have taken the money, and now we are in a contract. We must complete the task at hand.
Yes. You are correct. Especially considering we are already on the boat and there does not appear to be a way off aside from swimming in the canal. Which I do not recommend.
Especially
Mhm.
since we're heading into a sewer system.
This is true.
Mm-hmm. And so you are. So as the boat is going parallel to the dock at this point, and you guys are still illuminated by circle after circle of the gas lamps. And as you get closer and closer to the landmass, you find the gaping maw of the sewer pipe, and it's lazily spitting out sewage into the river. And no, actually, no, my bad. It's on the opposite side, so it's actually intaking. It's intaking and like flushing out through the system. And yeah, the boat is on this true and straight path to take you right into the sewer pipe.
Okay, before we enter Stinkland,
Yeah.
can I suggest we take a quick break?
Yes, we should take a break before we enter Stinkland.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I could do with another tea.
Yeah. So yeah,
I think do with food.
thank you for watching episode 3 of Roll for Mischief: Winds of War, and we'll be right